Would you mind if I play around?
I was starting to think when you'd show up.
Oh well, no need for waiting games. A simple call will suffice.
Good, because I got a question.
I'm listening.
You keep track on every student with your flies, right?
That is correct.
How good would you say you are when it comes to predicting people's actions?
I believe how accurate I am isn't important enough to philosophize. After all, we stick to our intuitions until proven otherwise.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Why are such matters important to you?
All my life, I never felt like I had the power to make any choices. When I thought I made my own, I died because of it. Turns out, there was never a way to make the situation better.
Care to elaborate?
I want to say it started after my ma was cremated. Shortly after, my uncle took custody over me.
Hey, Jim. You hungry? Don't worry about it. I'll whip up something when we get home. You can eat when you're ready. Are you serious? I just want to cruise down the road, get home, cook some dinner with my nephew. And now I gotta wait because some jackass doesn't know how to drive. God, traffic's a bit. Right, Jim. What the hell am I doing? Listen, Jim, I know what you're going through must feel awful. The worst thing you'll probably ever experience in your whole life so early on. It's not fair. When you grow up, I want you to know that your parents weren't bad people. In terms of your dad, addiction runs in the family. It doesn't make people think straight, you know, and I just wish I could help out your...
Mom, I'm home.
You can't really predict when these kinds of things happen. Sometimes our emotions can really get the better of us, but it doesn't excuse the questionable things that we do. Life can be complicated like that. No matter what happens, we can't forget, but we still gotta move on.
I remember my ma saying something close to that with my pa. I'd be lying if I said I knew what they were talking about at the time.
For example, with everything that happened to you. It really inspired me to finally step up and stop living for myself. Maybe I'll finally settle down and find a good wife to help raise you. Yeah, I think you deserve that much.
How close were the deaths of your parents?
Pretty close. About a month or so, the first devastation caused the other. I didn't want it carried to different urns, so I put them together.
Tragic. Do you still hold your uncle's view on your parents?
I don't know. But what I do know is that it's hard for me to hold any grudges. Everybody has a reason to do what they do, either instinct or proven otherwise. Everybody acts with an end goal to live their lives the way that they want to.
But do drastic measures justify their outcome?
It really don't matter in this case. Bad actions will lead others to feel justified for their bad actions and so on. Once everyone's done something bad, nobody wants to hold accountability for what they've done themselves. I see it on drama shows all the time. It's completely justified for character to kill character B. Yeah, character has a history of being a murderer, but character B is a rapist. Are we supposed to live in a world where we stop seeing evil as evil so we can live with ourselves? Or do we change what's evil based on circumstance? If it can be changed, it's nothing more than a tool. I guess what I'm trying to say is when everyone does bad things to others or themselves, why hold a grudge when it's already going to happen one way, shape, or form? People hurting people because our perspective says we're right.
Interesting. Has your uncle discovered your perspective on such matters?
I'm not sure. I think he found out after my break from school months after the incident.
All right, time to get some homework out the way.
I did it all before we got home.
Really? You want me to check if you got it right?
Go right ahead. Let's start with English.
English, right up my alley. Jimbo.
Jimbo.
Let's see what we got here. The Big Shrink, A. I think I remember reading this book back when I was your age.
Yeah, we just started reading it in class.
Have you read it before?
Nope, almost took a nap at chapter 1.
Then why does every answer you give spoil the book?
What do you mean?
Question 1. What caused Jacob to feel insecure? He wrote down because of the pain of his mom not being a part of his life, and a less than perfect father figure made him unhappy when dealing with personal relationships,
Well, it's the...
which he knows that he needs to overcome in the future to win the respect of his peers. But when he gets what he wants, he makes the situation worse by acting in a way he thinks his peers want him to act, but it's not who he is.
Well, I mean...
For the rest of the story, he fights between the need to be himself with one friend and his want to be accepted by many. Jacob finds out shrinking his own importance to make others happy is the biggest mistake of the story.
I don't even know you anymore.
People change all the time. You'll understand someday.
Am I wrong?
The answer is because he got bullied.
The book is called The Big Shrink, for crying out loud. With a title and opening like that, they gave the whole story away.
You pretty much nailed the entire arcs of every character. Even the open-ended questions like the one-eyed cat. You know, I have the movie in my collection. I'm guessing that helped you a bit, huh?
I watched it, but I noticed the movie went a different direction with key moments early on. It felt like a different story with the same characters. Actually, I tried watching a bit of every genre you had. Once I noticed a pattern in the storytelling, I felt like I didn't need to watch it anymore. I don't want to make you mad or anything, but with so much to watch, they all get boring when they follow similar checklists in their own genres.
Since you sound like you know what you don't want, why don't you make your own? Like a film or game or something, and show people how to be entertaining.
Are those DVDs popular?
Yeah, when you have people over, you don't just pop out the indie stuff.
If those are what's popular, then the world doesn't want entertainment that shows them what they need. Just tells me people want stuff that's comfortable.
Most of it sure is, but that doesn't mean all of it has to be. I'm sure if you can find a way to execute your ideas, you can make something for the person looking for the simple and the complex. Nobody can indulge in media with deep topics and understand everything in the first experience.
I suppose so. I think I'll just focus on being a scientist or something. At least with that, I can learn something new while things stay predictable.
That's a good route, too. I'll try to get some documentaries for you. But I think there's some financial opportunity with that gift you have.
Sure, we can gamble. That's what you're getting at, right?
Was it really that obvious?
I've been here for about 5 months now, and you gotta hide your eviction letters and other bills better.
I was hoping you wouldn't care about that kind of stuff and leave the finances to me.
Why don't you sell all this merch you have hanging around?
I'm sorry, but if I sold everything including the clothes off my back, it wouldn't cover all my debt. I just need your help with breaking even so I can sleep easier knowing that you don't have to worry about anything but school.
Don't worry, I said I'll help you.
Thanks, Jim.
Such affection. It really warms the heart, as you humans say.
Yeah, I was trapped in empathy too, but now I can't stop thinking about it. Could I say no? Why would I say no? How could I have known until the end hit me?